This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
A man was sentenced to more than 48 years in prison for shooting two co-workers, one fatally, at a Royal City business in 2015.
Dozens of Grant PUD customers are fuming over what they're calling exceptionally high utility bills.
A live grenade fuse was found at the Department of Corrections office in Wenatchee Tuesday afternoon.
For years, Othello basketball has been sitting near the bottom of the CWAC, but first-year head coach Roman Pinnell has been slowly working to change that this season.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
A man was sentenced to more than 48 years in prison for shooting two co-workers, one fatally, at a Royal City business in 2015. Eduardo Ibarra Valencia previously pleaded guilty to murder in the second degree and attempted murder in the second degree, with both charges carrying a firearm enhancement. Grant County Superior Court Judge John Nodell, who rejected a previous plea deal that would have had Ibarra Valencia plead guilty to manslaughter charges, went against a joint recommended 20-year sentence. He instead imposed an exceptional sentence of 48.2 years behind bars. In November of 2015, Ibarra Valencia entered Callahan Manufacturing and fatally shot his co-worker, 49-year-old Joel Rodriguez. Police say he then shot and wounded a second co-worker. The shooting was recorded on surveillance video inside the business, and Ibarra Valencia admitted to his wife he had just shot someone. Court records show Ibarra Valencia suffered from delusions, paranoia, and depression at the time of the attack. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Maytag and the family Pooch have a lot in common. Both are loyal, both aim to please, and both are tenacious dish cleaners. But only one can sanitize. Maytag, what's inside matters.
Maytag Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata. Dozens of Grant PUD customers are fuming over what they're calling exceptionally high utility bills. Some customers allege that their electricity bill doubled last month, even tripled in some cases. Utility officials at the PUD are acknowledging the issue and say there's a reason for it, but there's also a solution.
Typically, one of our meter readers will get to about 300, on average about 300 meters a day, be able to go out there and read that. But there's just some occasions, maybe it was an icy day when they were supposed to go out and they just couldn't get out that day. Or maybe there's something else going on that didn't allow a meter reader to actually get out and read the meter on the home or the business. And so that means it gets estimated for that month.
The PUD says estimates are based off of prior energy use during those months and say the practice is legal and common amongst utilities across the U.S. If you were one of many who think their utility costs have been much higher than usual due to an inaccurate estimate, Holterhoff says the PUD will work with you.
What we want customers to contact us. If they get a bill, they're concerned about it, please contact us. Customers have the option, if their bill's been estimated, that they can actually go and take a photo of their meter and then email that over to our customer service representatives, and then they'll adjust the bill accordingly as part of that. I'd also encourage customers to look at our budget pay option as well, where it levels your bill out over the course of the entire year so you don't see these spikes that come at different times of the season.
This kind of issue will soon go away as the utility continues to install its advanced meters, which can read your usage remotely. Customers are encouraged to email the PUD due to increased call volume. I'm Sean Goggins for iFIBER 1 News. This segment is brought to you by
Are your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
A live grenade fuse was found at the Department of Corrections office in Wenatchee Tuesday afternoon. The corrections staff was making contact with one of their clients, and according to Wenatchee police, that client tried to slough off an object without anyone noticing. A staff member picked up the fuse, which still had the pin in it, and took out the pin, which caused a minor explosion. Luckily, it was not pointed towards the face of the staff member, and only minor injuries were faced.
Well, a grenade fuse is very much like a primer in a pistol or rifle bullet cartridge, where it's a very small explosion to set off whatever else you need to have happen. So in this case, the grenade fuse was live. It did contain a very small charge of black powder or other gunpowder, but it had also been painted blue, so it looks like in a military setting it would have been used for training only. So it was probably a very low powered charge in there as well. So after the pin was pulled, it did go bang, and there were some very minor injuries sustained. Nobody needed treatment or anything like that by the person who pulled the pin on it.
The fuse has a minor charge, which is used to set off a much bigger reaction, whether it be for a smoke, flash, or fragment grenade. This particular fuse was painted blue, which leads Captain Edgar Reinfeld to believe that it was used for some sort of military training. No one knows how the person who was in possession of it received it in the first place. But that person who was in possession was arrested for an explosives-related charge in addition to other charges. Captain Edgar Reinfeld urges anyone who finds items that could potentially be explosive to call Rivercom Dispatch or just 911. Officers will assess the situation, and explosive ordnance disposal team will be called if needed. Reinfeld also says never to pull a pin out of anything, with an exception of a fire extinguisher, which also has a trigger that needs to be pulled down for use. I'm Madison Meyer with iFIBER 1 News.
For years, Othello basketball has been sitting near the bottom of the CWAC, but first-year head coach Roman Pinnell has been slowly working to change that this season. The Othello Huskies won their last 2 games to advance to a 5-9 district record. While it may not sound like much, it's the best conference record the Huskies have had since 2009, and they can still take a couple of games before the season is out. Coach Pinnell has inspired his seniors, who don't hold back on their season goals.
Our vision's the trophy. That's what we want. That's what we've been working for.
Despite all the seniors leaving at the end of the season, there are some talented players staying on the team. Among them is junior Jonathan Garza, who thinks the team will only get better.
We're going to push harder because we're losing a lot of guys, but I mean, we know what it takes to win now that we've been winning. So it's kind of we're getting the culture back.
Coach Pinnell, an Othello High School graduate who played ball at college and overseas in Mexico and Bolivia, explains why he chose to come back to coach Othello.
Basketball-wise, as most people know, it hasn't really or ever been a basketball town since probably the 80s when they went to state. Growing up, that's all I did, man. That's all I did. That's where my love was, my passion was. And I just felt in my heart that I wanted to come back and bring some of that fire that I had to go and do something.
Othello's last home game will be against Ephrata this Saturday. I'm Adam Chikoski for iFIBER 1 Sports.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.